Hello, and welcome to the Think Moisturizer Think Ajanta podcast series coming live to you from Dermacon 2026 Bangalore. We are on day 2 today, and we are going to get yet another set of dermatologists who are going to decode some of the daily, everyday skincare concerns that we face very simply, scientifically, and without any hype. Today, we are going to focus on something very important but yet neglected, that is skin dryness and moisturization. Everyone at some point in time experiences skin dryness, and there are so many misconceptions, so many trends going around everywhere, and we are sometimes confused not because of lack of information, maybe sometimes also because of over information that is running all over the internet. I'm delighted to welcome Dr. Mradula PR with us. She is a practicing consultant dermatologist at Bangalore Aesthetica Clinic, right, ma'am? So, today we are going to ask ma'am some of the common skincare related concerns. She will help us decode them simply and scientifically because there's so many information all over the internet, but sometimes we either get confused because there's so much information, or there's lack of information, lack of right information sometimes, which is why we tend to follow things that are not right for our skin. So today we are going to shoot some very interesting questions to ma'am, and ma'am will be answering them one by one for us. Ma'am, are you ready?
Yes, for sure.
Okay. So ma'am, my first question to you is there a need to change moisturizers as per the age? Because what we've seen is that a lot of people say that when I was younger I had no issues with my skin, but now that I'm aging I feel I need some skin care. So is that there is I'm sure there is a physiological change on your skin in terms of aging,
Yes.
but is there a need for you to change? So I might be applying a moisturizer when I was a younger person also. Does that change over the period of time that I need to switch to a different kind of moisturizer with my passing age? Is what I would like to understand.
Actually, what happens is as we age, the natural lipids and the skin, the oil content of the skin goes down.
Goes down. Okay.
So people tend to see that their skin gets a little drier over as they age. And another thing is when they are old, they tend to have a little more hot water bath because they have some sort of ache and joints are paining, especially weather related. If the weather is too cold, they'll take a longer bath with hot water. So that tends to dry their skin further. They will not realize it at that
Oh, is it?
point.
So hot water bath has got something to do with skin dryness.
Definitely.
Oh.
It has, because it will take away extra another layer of oil. Yeah.
Oh, is it?
So they need to put moisturizers, especially when the older they get, the thicker kind of a moisturizer they need.
Oh, this is really interesting because I feel that I'm sure there will be so many people like me who might be thinking that because I'm drenching in water, maybe I'm getting more moisturized. And of course, everyone loves a hot water bath, because of course you have better blood circulation and I feel you feel a little more lighter when you have a hot water bath. But I never knew that it can lead to skin dryness.
Now, especially what happens in Bangalore when it is cold, the weather is very dry also.
Correct.
So it is actually counterproductive when you're having a very hot water bath. It is drying your skin
More further.
Yes.
Okay.
So you need to moisturize more.
So somebody who loves a hot bath, somebody like me who loves having a hot shower, what should I do so that I can also protect my skin layers and I can have a healthier skin? I'm sure I'll have to use a moisturizer, but is there a quick tip that you can give so that I do not do so much of a damage for my skin?
Yeah, lukewarm. What we always suggest is lukewarm water bath. You need not take a cold water bath because it will not be lukewarm, and just see that it's not exceeding. Like sometimes even mothers are complaining that the moment the child comes out, I can see steam coming out. So it's not only old people, even young children also like to take a hot water bath.
Agree.
But if they moisturize just after a bath, it will help them. they need to moisturize within a short time.
So, ma'am, there was another concept related to that because now we're talking so much on the temperature of the things that we use. I've also heard where people say that when you spend too much time in the air condition, also you will lose your moisture. So these are very contrasting temperatures. Actually, if you see, one is an air condition where the temperature is cold,
Yes.
and then there is a hot water which is also ripping off, the moisture from my skin. So, is there that extreme temperatures affect your skin in different way?
It's not, it's like certain skins which are sensitive are not able to tolerate that shift in temperature.
Okay.
When that sudden there's a temperature shift, like even if there is one room of the house which is kept, air conditioned, and the child is atopic and they are moving in and out of that house, room, that will also affect them. So,
So, so nowadays, because we all are in a controlled, environment only, because whether it is cars or whether it is our offices, even at homes, I think everyone is using air conditioning profusely. So, my understanding is that uh, if we are in that kind of atmosphere all the time, our lifestyle is such that we tend to be in the air condition all the time, is there a certain re-application frequency that you suggest for the moisturizer? Is there something that, okay, if you're someone who spends a lot of time in the air conditioning, then you should be using moisturizer at least every 2 hours or every 1 hour, something like that?
it's not practically okay.
Yeah.
People are not all the time at home.
Correct.
One of the days we always insist after bath you put the moisturizer.
Okay.
That would be the best time to
And it will suffice for the entire day.
It should be a little that thickness of the moisturizer
Should be little heavier.
adequate. Yes. Yeah. To maintain that moisturizing effect.
Hmm.
And another time that they can put is probably once they return back home, and once before they go to bed. At least 3 times if they put, it should be put.
Okay.
Every 2 times is not practically possible.
Okay. And okay, so there is another thought that people have in their mind, and I have also personally experienced it. So I also want to know this from you, that when I'm typically in my city or wherever I'm living, my skin is a different type. I have to follow certain routine for my skin, like at least basic moisturizer and sunscreen I need to follow when I'm at in my city. But the same thing when I go for a vacation, my skin suddenly starts to look little better than in my hometown. I'm sure I sometimes feel it's a myth. I sometimes feel it's some kind of a misbelief. Is it something like that the weather conditions that we live in also changes and it has an effect on your skin?
Definitely, the weather has a big role to play. Like if you travel to some coastal areas, there it is the humidity in the atmosphere which is making the difference.
Oh, okay.
And if you notice, like Bangalore, we don't sweat much.
Yeah.
The moment you go to a coastal area, because of
Something
the
like a
temperature,
Mumbai where I'm from.
humidity, yes. There the humidity is more, temperature is different. So
Correct.
your skin will start, sweating will start.
Hmm.
So that's why you start to notice a difference in your skin.
Correct. So my last question to you would be, there's a lot of growing interest in microbiome-based moisturizers. Can you throw some light on that? Because this is something that we think it is picking up nowadays. So can you just guide us on what one is microbiome moisturizers, and will it be the future of moisturizers?
See, most of the problems that start, we have normal flora, which are the microbiome that you're talking about, which is already present on the skin.
Correct.
So they form something like a protective barrier. In some conditions, when skin is dry, or say then we have the bad, like the staph, which are tend to proliferate.
Correct.
And they cause other problems.
Correct.
So these microbiome-based moisturizers are replenishing that which is already the bad. It's like how for gut,
Correct.
have good bacteria, bad bacteria.
Correct.
The same principle is applied to the skin.
Okay. So that is something that will help us, you're saying, restore our
Normal flora.
Okay. So I think that is interesting. That should be the future of moisturizers.
At least it will prevent
Because
recurrent.
because there are so many products out there, except for moisturizers also, there are so many things that are available in the market today and we keep applying, I'm sure it is disturbing our natural microflora also. So something like this might do the repair for whatever we are disturbing, right?
Repair and sustain.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. That was really insightful. Thank you for joining us in this session. Uh, thank you, Pratula ma'am. And we are live coming to you from Dermacon 2026 Bangalore. It is day 2. Please stay tuned for more such interesting tips and topics that may solve and decode your daily skincare health issues. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am.